Coming to you from the Fox Sports 1270 studio in downtown Palm Springs, this is the Coachella Valley Sports Report with your host, Coach B.
This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we are streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And, you know, I love doing this. As you know, Coachella Valley, we've been doing this. Can you believe it's almost been a year that we've been doing the Coachella Valley Sports Report? My goodness, have we've grown and exploded. And I appreciate you all for inviting me in and letting me be there. I know I'm an outsider, but I appreciate you guys embracing me and letting me be a part of the community. We took over the station in January of 2024, but this very show didn't launch until August because we do a lot of things based off of the high school year. But you all know that I was on Fox Sports AM 1350 Riverside for 10 years, and I had a young man. I had him on the show when we were there because it's a great story, because this is the reason we create these shows. We created the show in the Inland Empire, and we created the show out here because we want to give life. We want to tell a story about individuals who are from the community and who have gone on to play at the highest levels. You know, we're involved in high school games. We do the girls flag football. We do girls volleyball, boys and girls basketball, tackle football. We do baseball. Softball's coming. So I want all the mothers out there to know you don't have to come for me anymore. We're going to do the softball game. I'm going to commit to it. We're going to do the girls softball game. It goes to our nonprofit. We give away the partial college scholarship. But there are individuals who go beyond that, and they're fortunate to play at the next level in college, and then they go beyond that. One of the things that I love when I worked for the LA Clippers, the G League, the Ontario Clippers, is it gives you a perspective where you could see that you don't necessarily just have to be on the court to play the game. When I was broadcasting, because they didn't want me on the court because I sucked. You know, my skill set was terrible. But there's other things you can do, even in basketball. Basketball, I know the game. I don't know if I could say it legally, but it's a game in football or soccer. It's the world game. Let's say that it's going on right now in the United States. But I think the global game is actually the beautiful game of basketball. And you can go along the journey, and you can play in so many places. And I say all that to say I have a young man on the show right now that I think he likes me. You know, he was on the show before. He was in Europe at the time. But without any further ado, please do introduce yourself to the Fox Sports Radio audience.
Hello, my name is Joseph Burton Jr. From the Soboba Indian Reservation. Happy to be here, and that was a good intro. Yeah, when you said years ago, I'm 35 years old. I'm thinking back to when I was 21, 22, so it's been a while.
Yes, it's good thing is you came back, so I appreciate that. So thank you so much, and I'll have you make sure you come up on the mic so the world can.
Sorry.
There you go.
This is my first time doing it.
No, it's all good. So like I said, you got to get all up in there. Okay. So we want to make sure that they can hear you. But I mean, what a story you've had. Like I said, we interviewed you, and you said you and your mom are going back and forth. You know, if we interviewed you in high school and college, but you were already overseas.
Yeah, because when I saw the Fox Sports on the Instagram page for you, I was like, maybe it was in high school, because I saw the CIF and all that stuff, the Southern Section. So, I mean, I played in that with West Valley High School. So I was like, oh, maybe it was in high school. And we were going back and forth for a while, and we were both wrong. So then I went to you. I was like, my wife's like, don't ask him, because that's rude. I'm like, I mean, just ask him. I don't know. I don't really know the right time. But you said overseas, so it's probably my second year or third year overseas. So
yes, and that's the beautiful thing about it. When I first heard your story, local guy, you went to West Valley. You grew up on the Soboba Reservation.
Yes.
But you've gone and and I'll ask you that. When you think about you growing up on the reservation, did you ever think that this beautiful game of basketball would take you all over the world? Let everyone know where you've played all overseas.
Yeah. So growing up, like I said, on the Soboba Indian Reservation, born and raised, I was actually the black sheep of my family because I'm the only one that went to West Valley, and that's in Hemet. And Soboba's in San Jacinto, and everybody on the reservation went to San Jacinto High School, the Tigers. So I was a Mustang. And, everybody was upset about that because my grandpa, Charles Silva Sr., he was a big inspiration in that area, coaching. I mean, he went there as well. Him and his brothers and sister, everybody went there. So he was a coach for years and years and years because did every sport, basketball, football, baseball, softball, everything. And so I went to West Valley High School. My junior year, we won this Southern Section CIF championship, and then the next year after that, my senior year, we won the league, and then we went to the third round of CIF, and then we lost it to Soro High School. And then after that, I went to Oregon State, 4 years, played for Coach Robinson, Barack Obama's brother-in-law. And then my first contract was in Denmark. Aalborg, Denmark, was in the north, was in the Scandinavian country, and that was my first contract. The next year I went to Holland, played for Zwolle, Landstede Basket, and then the third year went to France, Evro, and that's where I won my first MVP for Pro B. And then the next year I went to Coral Rouen, which is in France as well. Then I took a break and went to Japan for 1 year in Amori Watts. Talk about cold, talk about ice. Then I came back to France my 2 next seasons. Then I went, that was like during COVID, so the season got cut. Then I went to Finland during the COVID year. That season was cut in half. We only played about a handful of games, 20 games. And then I took a year off after that because basketball wasn't really going. And then I returned back to France. Then I got another MVP. France again the next season, and next season France. So, and then I'm here talking to you.
And I tell you, how cool is that when you go back and you think about being a young kid?
Yeah, I had to remember. And then going back to being like a young kid, man, I didn't even think I was going to go to college, And it's the funny thing because there's a junior college, Mount San Jacinto Junior College, that was in our town, and we used to go to the games when I remember I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and I told it was John Chambers I used to coach. He was a magnificent coach. He's been there for years and years and years. I think he's the winningest coach in the program. And I told him, I said, I'm going to play for you, but not knowing it was a junior college. I didn't think anything. I was just like, I'm going to play for you. And I was like 8 years old, 9 years old, and he's all laughing. And then I got good. I was playing AAU from 8 till my senior year in high school. I played for Team Inland All-Stars for a couple years. Then I went to Rising Stars, and then I went to Compton Magic when I was in my end of my 7th grade year, and I was with them till my high school career, until I signed at Oregon State.
Yeah, and you played multiple sports. What do you think? And this is one of those things that I tell a lot of these young athletes where they want to specialize in one sport. Yeah. Like you said, you played basketball, you played baseball, you did football.
All flag football. The women of the family, my mom, my aunt, my grandma, they didn't want me to play tackle. My grandpa was all for it, but they didn't want me to play actual tackle football.
I think it worked out. And then you also, just looking at, you played volleyball as well.
Yeah, I played volleyball in high school, West Valley. So I like I said, I went to West Valley. I was playing basketball, just to go there for basketball, because at the time, San Jacinto and West Valley, San Jacinto was on the lower division, and West Valley had better competition and a stronger schedule. So I went there for basketball. And then I guess one of my, like back to my grandpa, he knows everybody in the area. Coach Freestad saw me because I was in his PE class, and he said, "Hey, you want to play volleyball?" And I'm like, "I don't know what volleyball is." I mean, I played volleyball, but I just hit the ball over the net, whatever. I didn't know the footwork or anything about that. And then he's like, "Hey, what's your last name?" I was like, "Burton." And he's like, who's your family? And I'm like, Silvis. And then and he's like, "Oh, I know Charles." So they knew each other. So he's like, "I'm going to talk to your grandpa and all this stuff, get you to play volleyball." So that's what I did. For all 4 years, I played volleyball.
And that's pretty cool because, funny story, I just came across this, and I saw Kobe Bean Bryant talking about this. He said that he did tap dance, and he said that helped with his footwork.
Well, yeah, so the footwork aspect, so I was a freshman on varsity volleyball I just a kid. I didn't know anything, but when we're doing like the footwork, the ladder work, and like getting the steps down for the volleyball, Freeze Dad was like, "Man, your footwork is great," And it's like, yeah, my grandpa's been my coach, my mom, my aunt, my uncles, all of them have been coaching me up, and that's the main thing of my game is just good footwork. So it is what it is, and that's why I was pretty good in volleyball too.
And it looks like it worked out for you. And that's why one thing I wanted to ask you, as I was saying, is a lot of times kids want to specialize in sports. Like when my son was in high school, he graduated in 2020 during COVID. But his coach wanted him just playing football. But when we were in high school, it wasn't foreign to be a 3-star athlete. I mean, I was a 3-star bench warmer. I'm 3-sport bench warmer. So, I mean, that was me. So that's why I tell everyone who's going to see this on YouTube and whatnot, this was my position in high school. Sitting on that bench, but I was good at it. I was good at it.
Getting the water, huh? Yeah.
Yes, but why is that so important to play multiple sports, and how did that help you become a better athlete? I mean, you got great genes. How tall are you?
I was listed at 6'8". No, I think I went down to 6'7", and I get a little shorter, 6'6". So
okay,
as
I got
I get
you.
Older,
but you're 4. Oh, he said it. He's 6'7". So
no, yeah.
But to have that footwork and do that, how did playing all those sports help you?
Man, so yeah, it helped me tremendously. I mean, because as a kid, growing up in the area, you play multiple sports. I went to Valley Wide and I played, soccer, football. Yeah, because when I went over to Europe, I said, "Oh, you guys play soccer here?" They're like, "Oh no, we play football here." So, but our side, soccer, flag football, basketball, indoor soccer. So it's like you do that, and I guess you're trying to find what you like. And I was really good in baseball as well. I was a pitcher and a first baseman. I could crank that ball out of the stadium, but for him at youth, yeah, it was great. But at one point, it was just getting a lot because obviously I couldn't drive myself to places, and my mom was the one going back and forth. So we would do a lot of baseball and basketball at the same time. So we were like, you got to pick one. I was like, oh, I like basketball. I love basketball more. So.
And it worked out for you because one of the things that was big for you is you became the first Native American men's basketball player to receive a full ride scholarship to the then Pac-10.
Yeah.
Now the Pac-12. Now it's the Pac rebuild. Did that historical significance sink in with you? I mean, that had to have been something that was huge on the reservation.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I didn't know that I was the first recruit for Coach Robinson at the time, and he came to the res and saw how we lived, and he was just like, "Man, this is like different." I'm like, "Yeah, this is a whole nother world. Once you pass that guard shack, it's just like it's a sovereign land, so it's our own rules and regulations up there." But hearing that at Oregon State is like I was the first. I was happy, but then I was like, "Man, I'm the first, and it's been how long?" And in the Pac-10, it was, they got, at the time you had the California schools, the Oregon schools, the Washington, Arizona, and Arizona State. So it's like, it was a bittersweet moment because there is a lot of talent in the Native community and also in the small areas around. So I was happy for the accomplishment, but as the years go by, there's a lot more Native Americans that do make it now. So which is good.
And that's got to be great. That had to have been something your grandfather had to be super, super proud of.
Yeah, he passed away in 2018. But yeah, that's something that I was really proud of. Every time that I got an MVP award or an accomplishment, I was dedicated to my grandpa and my family for basically sacrificing to do what it is for me to get out, and that's what I tell a lot of people, man. Like it's hard work, but if you have a good foundation, it's easier, but it's still hard work to get to where you want to go.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Great conversation. Like we said off air, I love all the talk.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, I'm looking this way, I'm looking that way. I'm just like, oh, am I saying too much or am I talking too much? But you're shaking your head, you go. So I'm like, all right, I'll go.
Yeah, when I ask guests how much should they talk, I say too much. Because that makes good content.
Yeah.
So we absolutely, and it's important because you're sharing a great story, and I love to have someone local from the area that can be an example. I mean, the odds that you overcame, fantastic. Absolutely love it. So let's take a quick commercial break. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure if you get up early on Friday mornings, check us out on Fox 11 TV.
Can't get enough of the Coachella Valley Sports Report? Then make sure you follow us. We're on X and Instagram at CVSR Fox Sports.
An accident can change your life in an instant. One moment you're driving to work, the next you're dealing with pain, stress, and bills that just keep piling up. That's why you need the Injury Firm, the official law firm of Fox Sports 1270 AM and the Coach B Show, to step in and protect your rights. If you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, the Injury Firm should be your first call. Car accidents, slip, trip, and falls, dog bites, and much more. They will guide you through every step and work with you to get the compensation you deserve. They don't just talk results. They have recovered millions for their clients. So don't go it alone. Get a team that's on your side from day one. Call the Injury Firm today at 949-575-8875 or visit them on the web at injuryfirmlaw.com. Don't forget to tune into the Coachella Valley Sports Report Saturdays, 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the injuryfirmlaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 a.m. And as always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And make sure you get up Friday mornings. Check us out on Fox 11 TV. And, I'll tell you, once again, we got our guy, Joe, in studio with us. But you play for the guy. You said, Coach Craig Robinson. Yeah. My goodness. And he has a pretty famous sister.
Yeah, Michelle Obama. So that was sorry, Coach, but this was the Coach Rob about the selling points. He was like, he's going to be president. I don't have I know the president of the United States and all this, and I'm like, okay, all right. But I didn't sign just for that because my obviously my teammate from Compton Magic, Roberto Nelson, was also going to Oregon State too. So I've been playing with Roberto since I was playing against and with since I was like 10 years old, and we were both going at the same time. So went to Oregon State together, so it was cool to have my brother and my teammate to go with me to Oregon State. And while we were there, freshman year we went to the White House. Every year we went to the White House, and then actually my senior year we ate Thanksgiving dinner at the White House. My first experience at the White House was cool. I mean, the security was tight, like no cell phones, no pictures, no nothing. I said, oh, hey, Mr. President. Then my sophomore year, I was like, what's up, Barack? I was like more comfortable. Like I knew the place around. So it was, but it was cool. Walking into the White House, you see nothing but Native Americans on the walls. Like history. And it was awesome because he came up to me my freshman year when we were walking in the White House. He's like, oh, so you're the Native American. And then he was like, look. And he's like, you're all on the wall. And it's like, I was like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, they probably changed it now, but but on the walls, it was a lot of Native American pictures and artwork. So it was pretty cool.
And that is cool. So I've gone to Washington, D.C. once. And, when you look at the White House on TV, you think it's 32 stories tall. But when you look at it, but that's the people's house.
Yeah, it's just a regular house. I don't know how they do on the cameras. They make it look like it's bigger than what it is.
Right.
And but yeah, we were going through every room, and they said there's 4 floors, but there's in between the floors is another floor. So, but it's like I think it's just for storage and stuff. I'm probably giving a lot away, but but there was one where we're walking through the White House and he's all watch, opens the door. There's a secret agent just standing right behind the door. That's all he does.
Wow.
They just stand right there. He's like, yeah, there's a bunch around that just stand there.
And you think, the life experiences you've been able to get. Like I said, going back to being on the Soboba Reservation, you could have never fathomed that you're in the people's house, you're playing in all these European countries.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see because, like I said, like I was just playing in the dirt with my cousins, and just running up and down, no care in the world. Oh yeah, I go play basketball sometimes. Like,
was there a time when you knew that I'm pretty good at this?
I think I started to feel that I was pretty good when people were telling me that I was good. And I got my first letter in fourth grade from it wasn't a letter, but it was like, we're watching you. It was like St. John Fisher's in New York. And I was like in third, fourth grade. And I was like, and I think that's when it clicked. My mom was like, oh, like you might be good.
Yeah, you can be legit at this when you think about how you did that. And another thing I always wanted to ask, when you we speak English, that's our language. But when you go to France, and I know a lot of countries will appease Americans and speak English, but do you have to learn when you're in Holland? And do you have to learn the language?
Denmark was tough. They did a lot of like that. And then it was funny because in Denmark and in Holland they don't like each other because they always make fun of how they speak. And it's more Denmark is more like German, like more like a hack, and then Holland is more like they like la flow, like they kind of elongate it. But mostly a lot of people don't know in Europe, like they learn English very young. Like the younger generation. Maybe the older generation, they kind of speak English a little bit, but when you're on the basketball court, basketball terms are kind of the same, similar, and you'll pick it up because, they'll say pick, roll all the time in their language, and then you'll know.
Okay.
And, most cases, all my teammates spoke English, especially in Holland, they did. In France, it was kind of iffy, but there were some guys that went to college in the States and then came back to play, so they were French and other European countries. So
that makes sense because that's the one thing I think about when you go there. Like I have high blood pressure, so I take a triple, and I have to know where a bathroom is. So if I'm in France, I need to know how do you go to the bathroom. So.
No, toilet. Yeah. So but we talk about at Oregon State for a second. We went to Macedonia. Me and a couple of the student athletes for Oregon State. Two of my other teammates, Kevin McShane and Roberto Nelson from the basketball team, went to Macedonia for Beavers Without Borders. It was Habitat for Humanity to build another story on another house over there. So we were in Komonovo, Macedonia. Their bathrooms are, you dig a hole, you put a plot and you put the wooden chair and all that stuff, and you do your business, and you cover the hole, next hole, next hole. And sometimes they have like those squatting toilets. So I was like, oh man, I cannot be over here.
Yeah.
But it was different to see that. But it was kind of like the reservation a little bit. Everything was really tight, dirt roads. All the kids in the community were playing together. And it was just like, it was good to see and humbling to go back to the States and have, running water and, clean, food, water, all that stuff, just water, ice, and like just regular food and just easy getting around in cars. So it was just something that you're really humbled and thankful for.
Yeah, things that we take for granted.
Yeah,
we take it for granted. And, that's, like you said, it's that beautiful game of basketball. Once again, we have Joe Burton in studio with us. He's telling us the story. A young man grew up in the area on the Soboba Reservation, went and played basketball at the highest level, played at Oregon State, and then played internationally. Now, you're the only player in Oregon State history with more than 1,000 points, 700 rebounds, and 3 assists. So you balled out when you were there.
300.
300. I said 300. I'm sorry, 300.
They said 3 assists.
I'm sorry, 300. I meant 300. He's like, get it right. Put respect on it. So
no, I just don't want people to say, "Oh, that's it, 3 assists." I can get 4.
So yeah, over 1,000 points, 700 rebounds, and 300 assists. Put respect on it.
Yeah,
so talk about that accomplishment.
I didn't even think anything of it, and then our stat guy came over and was like, "Hey, you're like you're for like the assist, like you're the most for a non-guard," and I'm like, "Oh." But Gary Payton went to Oregon State.
Glove.
Yeah, so I just to be on the list, I mean, with him is pretty cool. And also I am on the list for like the most turnovers. But he's on the list too. He's number 1, and I'm top 10 as well. So that's also a good list to be on with him. But there is for rebounds, points, and assists, I never thought anything about it until someone said it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool for a non-guard. I mean, guards, you're always passing the ball to the bigs, and then, but me, I like to pass first. I'm a pass first big and like to get everybody else going. So it was a good accomplishment. It was nice. People to so like I'm a trivia question, like who's the first, Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-12 Native American, like they'll pull my name up. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And for everyone out there that does not know, unless you're in my age group, he's talking about Gary Payton Sr. He's talking about.
I'm not talking about.
Yes.
I'm not talking about GP2. No,
yes,
no. I'm talking about the original, Gary Payton. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I just saw a clip the other day, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is now playing for the Miami Heat. So that's how I know I'm getting old, because I remember watching Del Curry play.
It's crazy too, because I'm like, Melo used to be good for the Nuggets, and then everybody's like, he didn't play for the Nuggets. I'm like, who are you talking about? I said, no, Carmelo Anthony, not LaMelo.
Yes.
I'm like, no, there's no way. I'm not calling LaMelo Melo. I'm calling Carmelo Anthony.
Yes. And who has the right to the name Melo?
Yeah.
Is it Carmelo or LaMelo? So because they call LaMelo Melo.
I'm an old school guy. Even when I was young, my grandpa, we were watching old film, like Magic's my favorite player of all time, Magic Johnson. But I got Charles, I got Shaq on there, I got Wes Unseld, Gervin, the Iceman.
Back.
No, I mean I like Pistol Pete, like Kuzi.
Gervin's grandson's a coach out here.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Call him the Snowball then.
Yeah, Rancho Mirage. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, So I mean I like all the old players. I like the old game. I mean I know basketball's changed now, but I still think you still need that old school mentality to push your career further.
Absolutely.
I think you got to play every type of style.
Yeah, and at Rancho Mirage, Cash Gervin, I think it's his great grandson. He's a sophomore going to his junior year. He is legit.
Okay.
Just like his granddad.
All
so,
right.
Yeah, he is legit. And you'll like this. My favorite player growing up, because I wanted to be like you. Unfortunately, my dad was 5'9", so I'm 5'9". I wasn't blessed with genetics to grow another foot.
Yeah.
But my favorite player growing up was Big Game James Worthy.
James Worthy.
I love Magic, but the finger roll,
okay.
I love it. Let's take us a quick commercial break. This is the Coachella Valley Sports Report. I am your host, Coach B, and we're broadcasting from the InjuryFirmLaw.com studios on Fox Sports 1270 AM. As always, we're streaming 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Can't get enough of the Coachella Valley Sports Report? Then make sure you follow us. We're on X and Instagram at CVSR Fox Sports.